Welcome to Puckin Around Podcast. Join the gang, Carmen, Mike, Mika and Daryl for some Puckin talk.
Welcome to the Puckin Around Podcast, episode number 1. The gang couldn't be here today, but Carmen Gill is in the house. Carmen, how are you doing?
Good, man. Good. Just very excited to get this started finally, and hopefully lead us on to bigger and better things. So yeah,
Yeah,
definitely ready for this and excited.
yeah. I mean, we've been talking about this for a little while here now, so we can finally get the first one going. Yeah. So I guess what got you into hockey to start? I guess for myself, I've been an Oilers fan my whole life, but I
Yeah.
love most teams, as far as that goes. But yeah, obviously an Oilers fan, and then Detroit and stuff like that too. I mean, Detroit was really good when the Oilers sucked. So my favorite player is Alex Hemsky. But yeah, how about yourself, Carmen?
For me, first of all, I can't believe you're a Detroit fan. I'm just kidding. But no, for me, I've been an Oilers fan since I'd say what, like 1998. Ever since Doug Waite came onto the scene, and he became a pretty big player for the team. So ever since then, I've been an Oilers fan through and through. I've never switched teams except maybe that one time in like 2004 when I almost became a Canucks fan. So that was very, very appalling. Now when I
That could have
look back
been
at it,
that could have been pretty bad. Yeah.
yeah,
I think
that could have been very bad based on how they're doing right now.
yeah.
Sorry, Ben. And so like my favorite player, I'd say is Doug Waite. I mean, I got his jersey. All I need is his signature. Hopefully that happens in the future.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. But I also wanted to say our other members, Micah and Benjamin, couldn't join today, but they've helped set up the podcast as well. So for them, I guess they'll have to make their introduction. Sorry, on the next podcast, episode 2. Right?
Yeah, I guess there's some family stuff and just some
Yeah,
stuff that's going around there. So hopefully that all works out.
yeah.
But yeah, and in the meantime, we are here. We'll get this first one on the roll or on the road here. So we'll start off with something big that happened on Monday. Looks like
There's something big, you say?
well, the biggest thing that could happen for the Oilers, Connor McDavid extended finally. We got to do our prediction, I guess, kind of prediction. It was more of a, this is what might happen on Monday kind of thing. But
Yeah,
people read around the words, I guess, and considered that it was McDavid. Compared to the Kaprizov signing, two completely different deals. Obviously one's an 8-year deal and one's a 2-year deal, but I think McDavid did everyone a pretty good favor there, especially after Bowman and a lot of the players' reactions. Nobody saw this coming. By the
yeah, I
way,
agree. I agree.
yeah,
I don't think anyone saw this coming. So, like, I'm sorry, continue. Go ahead.
yeah, nobody saw it coming, right? And so I guess the biggest question is, what do the Oilers do with that extra space, and you know, you know, how do they help them out? Because this helps the team, but also gives them a lot of pressure to get these next 2 years right. So.
Yeah, I agree. And like, if you look at this, if we're comparing McDavid and Kaprizov, in my opinion, you have a player that wants to win, and another player that, at least for now, Minnesota fans will probably hate me, but a player that wants to get paid. I'm basing this off like their salaries. Although Kaprizov signed for 8 years, I'm pretty sure he was chasing the money. And McDavid, I mean, he took 2 years. Maybe Leaf fans are gonna think, oh, that means he's gonna leave. But I'm pretty sure he just did that so he can take less money. And like you said, it'll give the Oilers more opportunity to probably bring someone in at the deadline, or if they fail this year, hopefully not. Next summer they can bring in a brand new goalie or another top level player. But in other words, like the way it started out on Friday, you could probably get a little bit of a feeling of McDavid probably signing because of the rumors that were coming out from one of my personal, one of the people I follow on Bob Stoffer. So yeah, The signing was not as surprising to me as it probably was for like a majority of us, but I think the amount that he took and the years, in my opinion, was very surprising. So
Yeah, it
yeah,
definitely caught everybody by surprise. The difference between the two, for Kaprizov, basically he took all the money that was available, and McDavid took a haircut, and so it just shows the different types of leadership. But on top of that, there's a lot of people, there's a few rumors, or not rumors, but videos going around about, if McDavid did the league a disservice by taking a haircut, about Jack Eichel's next deal and these guys, that are coming up, if
yeah,
he did them a disservice as far as getting as much money as they can. For that, you just look back at a player called Sidney Crosby and his deals in the past, 10 years or so, that he's taking haircuts every year. And the same with McKinnon too. These leaders, they don't
yeah,
take all their money. I mean, they're making different kinds of money on the side anyway. But of course, you have to have some guys that they're talking about the disservice. But I think Kaprizov set the market high enough that everybody can get their money and run whoever needs to, right? But
yeah. And you can probably say the same thing for the like the defenseman. First of all, going back to McDavid, I feel like this also puts pressure, like you were saying, on Stan Bowman and management to like get their act together and do something in the next 2 years, or it's gonna you know it might end up with him leaving because I mean he wants to win. That's been his story the whole time ever since well pretty much maybe ever since he came in the NHL. He signed that 8 year contract. Last 2 years, he's made the finals twice and he's lost to the same team, Florida.
yeah.
But yeah, now he's made it pretty obvious from his press conference at the end of the year. He pretty much said the same thing that his contract has told us now. And anyway, so moving on to the defenseman, like we're saying the salary's gone up in terms of signing top line players because of the Kaprizov signing, but then you look at what defensemen like Luke Hughes got, and not around 9 million. I mean, that's close to what Darnell Nurse got. So he is a young player, and I think he'll definitely be worth his contract compared to Darnell Nurse. But how do you feel about like what top defensemen are getting now? Like around
I
nine
think
million? Yeah.
the the more years we get into this, Nurse's contract will start to look a lot better. If guys
Mm.
like Hughes is getting 9 million per year, very soon those young defensemen are going to start getting Doughty type of numbers where it's 12 point whatever. But just going, yeah, just going back to McDavid for a second. He's after this contract, he'll have been an Oiler for 12 years. If he
Yeah.
decides to leave, then I think Oiler fans need to understand where he's coming from. He's given them 12 years of his career, and if he decides to move to a different team at that point, there's really not much anybody could say.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to Hughes and I believe it's the Ducks defenseman, I forget his
Jackson
name.
Lacombe.
Yeah, Lacombe, there you go.
Yeah.
Those two guys signed pretty big deals.
Mhm.
And so, it just shows the market is up no matter what McDavid does.
Yeah.
Kaprizov set that bar, and I think we're gonna have a lot of guys like Eichel. He had an amazing year last year, and I'd imagine his year will be really good this year with Marner on his line. So
Yeah.
he'll have
Great.
he'll have the points and the production as long as he doesn't get injured. But either way, he's making 15 to 18 million per
Yeah,
year
that's true.
next year. So, or not next year, but the year after, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah, so then Hughes, we have Walman's extension as well that came in right before the McDavid deal. So I think that was one of the factors of him taking a haircut as well. He wanted to make sure that Walman would sign.
Yeah.
And without
And
Walman, they don't have much of a depth as well, right? So they definitely
yeah,
needed that.
I really liked the Walman trade that the Oilers made. It definitely came out of nowhere. I had like no knowledge of any kind of rumor that the Oilers were talking to San Jose about Jake Walman, but it didn't take much to acquire him. Yes, they had to give a first round pick, but like they gave a prospect in Carl Berglund who, he wasn't as well, like, highly touted as probably what they had before. And now they end up getting Jake Walman for 7 years at 7 million. I mean, that's pretty much a bargain. This is a top four defenseman. He had 40 points last year when he came to Edmonton. He pretty much fit the team like he fit into the team like a glove because that's pretty much how Ekholm fit in as well. So it was a really good trade and a really good signing in my opinion. And yeah, McDavid took the pay cut to have him take his money and stay with Edmonton. But at
Yeah,
the same
that
time, they're gonna
yeah, go ahead.
have space during the deadline. No,
Yeah. Yeah, that
yeah, they're gonna have space around the deadline because good.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So like what I was gonna talk about next was the Connor Ingram trade to Edmonton. I don't want to be too Edmonton based, but how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think that's a good insurance policy. I don't think that Skinner's going anywhere. It's too bad that, Jack Campbell couldn't last a little bit longer for Skinner's sake, but you know, it's a good pickup. I think by the time November ends, we're gonna know exactly what that situation is gonna look like. The Oilers won't take too much time to make that decision. I just hope that they give Skinner enough games to know exactly what they're doing because we don't want the same situation as Devin Dubnyk back in the
Yeah,
day.
you
So
don't want that to come back.
yeah, but as far as that goes, it's a very good situation for the Oilers. They have a depth goalie now. Before they were going to rely on Thompson, I believe, or I forget his name. That dude. I'm gonna quickly grab it here, but yeah,
Yeah,
not a great. I mean, whatever, a guy that can be an AHL goalie, but I gotta quickly grab this guy's name.
Pickard, you mean?
No, not Pickard. This Tompkins, Matt Tompkins.
Oh, Matt Tompkins. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
good
So,
signing.
so definitely, Tompkins is probably a guy that can teach people how to play goalie more so than an actual,
Yeah.
NHL caliber, even backup or anything like that. So. He'll be good for Nathaniel Day and those guys in the minors, maybe these other guys. But um, yeah, you a good little pickup for the Oilers. Definitely, he wanted to be here. I don't think that he had any other options lined up. I think there were some talks of maybe Ottawa or those kinds of teams. He wanted to be closer to Saskatchewan. Um,
Yeah.
and it helps that Knobloch is from the same town as he is. So. Oh, there's
No, I
definitely.
agree. I definitely I knew that the Oilers were at least excited about him, but they never wanted to pick him up on waivers. And in my opinion, I think this trade that they made to get Connor Ingram, it has a potential to, you know, it seems like something small at the moment, but it has a chance to explode depending on how he plays in the AHL. Because if like right now this is Skinner and Pickard's creased, but if like they fail in the first like 20 games, then like Ingram's probably going to get an opportunity. And I think that if he does, then he'll be ready to take it because I mean his first two seasons in Arizona, he had a pretty good save percentage in .907, and yeah, he was on a terrible team, but he had pretty good stats, so he did pretty well there. Just after the unfortunate circumstances that he went through last season, where it went pretty badly in Utah. I feel like he can recover from that. So
Yeah, he
hopefully
was a
everything
part
goes
of
good
the
for
he
him.
was he was a part of the player assistance program. So that
Yes.
there's a lot of stuff there, but
Yeah.
yeah, the pressures of playing in Edmonton, yeah, we'll see what happens with that. There's a lot of
Hmm.
question marks there still, but I think the rest of the team as a whole is pretty well shored up. Offensively and defensively, they're basically the same team as last year. Just some of the bottom six guys are gone.
Yeah.
Um, some guys that made a lot of money for what their production was. They ended up leaving, and then grabbed some guys and signed some guys. Obviously, Bouchard's contract took a lot of that took a big hit off of the salary cap this year.
Yeah, his did definitely.
Yeah.
Although Bouchard, I kind of hoped that he would have signed for 8 years, but I guess he took Judd Moldaver was his agent as well, just like McDavid. So,
Oh yeah.
I guess we shouldn't be surprised that he took it was a short-term contract, but I'm expecting him to resign long-term after that. But the salary is going to be quite a bit then.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to
We got
like
which yeah, who we think the top team in each conference will be as the next.
in each conference. So,
Yeah.
let's say, like in my opinion, in the West, um, I'm not going to be a homer. I'm going to say Colorado. I think Colorado has the potential to be at the top because now they'll have Mackenzie Blackwood for the entire year. Although he is injured right now, he didn't even play today. But
Oh
I
yeah. Yeah,
think
he is injured for this week, I think, still, but
yeah,
should be back soon.
doesn't have my pool. I grabbed him on there, so
Yeah.
yeah, bad choice. But yeah, that's my choice for the West. For the East, I'm gonna say, oh God, I'm not gonna say Florida because we already know what they're gonna do. I'm gonna say,
Did they
you
win
know what,
today?
yeah, they won
Oh,
today.
okay.
They beat
Yeah.
Chicago actually 3-2, and apparently Connor Bedard had a really good game. So we'll get into that after. But
Yeah.
you know what, I'm gonna be what do you call the Oilers' worst. Oh, sorry, the Oiler fans' worst nightmare. I'm gonna say Toronto is gonna be at the top of the East this year at least.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I had too. Toronto at the
Yeah,
top. Not that
not Montreal. I'm
I don't really
surprised.
want yeah. I don't really want them to well, whatever. It is always interesting when they get to the playoffs.
Oh yeah,
As
it
much
is.
as it's fun to harp on them and their fan base, but you know, they have a playoff type of more of a playoff type of team this year, more depth
No
and
Marner.
more Marner, yeah, to drag him down, I
Mhm.
guess. But obviously he looks like he's happy he was at the UFC game or a UFC match last
Yeah,
weekend or something like that. So yeah, he looks like he's having the time of his life out in Vegas. But yeah, we'll see how that division goes, I guess. But
yeah,
I think Toronto will still be the top team. Just a lot of question marks in the playoffs, but with the depth, you never really know how far they can go, right? But
yeah.
yeah,
So what about your sorry, Western top team? Who'd you pick from there?
Western. Um, yeah, I was thinking Avalanche,
Colorado. Mhm.
but we'll see. Like that one is a bit more tough because Avalanche, like they don't have the depth that they've always had.
That's
Um,
true.
and so with Rantanen leaving last year,
And
um,
well, they do have Nietzsche's, I guess, but
yeah,
he's no Rantanen.
yeah. Natchez will probably, well, whatever. He'll probably end up getting traded. He already asked for a trade. Well, it was
Yeah,
rumored that he asked for a trade in the off season, but we'll see. I mean, they
yeah,
don't want to pay him more than they had to pay Rantanen. That'd be pretty funny if they tried to make the trade so that they got a player
yeah.
for less money and then ended up having to pay him more anyway.
Hmm.
But
I think Nietzsche
yeah,
doesn't it was like overrates his value. He is a really good player. I remember in that draft I wanted him for Edmonton, but um, he got picked higher than I thought he would. But yeah, just a little bit of not breaking news, but just something to keep an eye on. Kyle Connor is about to sign an extension with the Jets, and it sounds like it's around 12 million per year. So yeah, wow,
okay.
that's quite a bit,
Well,
and that's
that's actually a
around what McDavid got.
that's a pretty good deal actually for them. If they
Yeah,
get him for an 8-year deal,
I was
I think
expecting like 15 or something. Like
yeah, I was too. If when I
wow,
saw that he was a free agent too, I thought for sure he was walking. He's an American-born player playing in Winnipeg, but
yep, wow,
but yeah,
yeah, that's surprising to be honest.
but yeah, like just to kind of, I'm sure the Winnipeg Jet fans will love that comment,
Yeah,
but
that's awesome for them. Awesome for
but yeah,
Winnipeg.
he is a really good player, and they will, yeah, they're gonna love that deal. I think if it's at
Yeah,
12 million,
yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that for sure.
yeah. We'll just, I guess we'll wait for the term, but it seems like that's a pretty good signing for them. All
Yeah.
right, next, so what do you think, like in terms of, for you, for example, let's go conference by conference, right? Which team will surprise you most in the West and the East?
Well,
If
I
it's
already
more than
said
one,
that
that's fine too.
in the East. Well, I already said that I was a Detroit fan, but I think they're going to have a really good year this year with some of their young guys, but also getting the goalie that they needed. Um, they have two really good goalies this year, and then their defense is a little better. They still have
Yeah,
some problems on the left side on their D, but yeah, as far as you know, their offense goes, it's still the same. And I think Raymond's
yeah.
going to take a step forward again this year. That team is pretty good. Out of all the Eastern teams that I can see here, I don't think much of them will surprise. I can see maybe the Flyers will do good, but they got a new coach.
Flyers, maybe. Yeah,
Yeah, they got a new coach,
yeah,
and their defense is getting stronger. So
yeah.
we'll
And
see how that goes.
Michkov, that's one player that keeps getting better and better each year. So yeah,
Yeah,
they
and
definitely got a good one in him.
the new coach will help with Mitchkov as well.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
gonna
I agree with that. So what about for the West for you?
for the West. Let's see here. Well, yeah, I'm thinking the Predators.
Nashville, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I think they're gonna do better than last year, which doesn't say much, but yeah, you can't do worse, I guess, with the team that they have.
No, I
But
agree.
I think they're gonna be closer to a playoff team than people think. A lot of people that I've talked to think that the Blues will do good, but I don't see that.
St.
That's
Louis, yeah,
yeah, I don't know. They're an aging roster, but they have a lot of young guys that did really well last year.
yeah.
I'm not
Unfortunately,
sure.
two of them were from Edmonton, but
Yeah,
yeah, and
yeah.
Holloway and Broberg. Oh,
Well,
that
yeah.
sucked.
Even with that aside, I don't know if Holloway will have that type of year again.
Yeah,
But
maybe they won't. So, in terms for me for the East, I think I'm not gonna pick the most obvious one, which is Montreal. I'm gonna say in terms of a surprise team, I think it's gonna be a team that goes down. So I think Washington is gonna really decline this year. I mean, they were pretty good last year, but it seemed like a lot of their players had you know came out of nowhere, like Protus came out of nowhere. Some of their players were very I don't know. When I watched them play last year, I just thought, yeah, like they can't be really at the top of their division. But again, like that was based on last year. So that's my surprise team in the East, I'd say.
yeah,
In the
yeah.
West, I'd say, yeah,
Washington was one of those teams, but they have a really solid 1A 1B type of goaltending tandem, and then
yeah,
Chikrin last year really showed up as well for them. So
yeah.
it's
Finally,
gonna be a tough team. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough
yeah,
team for people to beat, but
yeah.
that
We'll see about them.
Metro division is pretty strong this year. We'll see.
Yeah,
The Hurricanes got quite a bit better. Yeah, the Devils if they can stay healthy, and then you got the Flyers that are going to be contending too. So it's going to be a tough one.
yeah. I agree. All right. So in the West, my surprise team is going to be Anaheim. I think another year into like how young the team is. Leo Carlson, he's injured right now, but when he comes back, I mean, he's been very good every year he's played. With Jackson and Lacombe back there with another year under the belt, and also Lucas Dostal signed for that big contract. I think they'll surprise. They probably won't. They're not going to make the playoffs, but I think they'll contend because we have LA who's going down like the drain, and we have Anaheim who's coming back up. So I think we're gonna see LA go down, Anaheim go up.
Yeah, I don't think the Kings will make the playoffs as far as
I
that
don't think so
goes.
either.
Um, they got a lot older on the back end, and they spent a lot of money to get that old. I don't know
I
what Ken
agree.
Holland, I don't know what Ken Holland is doing out there, but he's
Took
going to
some
be
former
getting
Oilers.
yeah, yeah. That
Maybe a
guy in
bit too
record
many, to be
book,
honest. Yeah, I agree.
that guy in record book is getting pretty old out there.
Mhm.
The fact that he got a job again, yeah, I don't know how that worked out, but
Yeah,
it's that
that was
old
very surprising.
the old recycling GMs kind of idea. But uh,
Yeah, I
I don't
agree.
think I'll be surprised with that team. I'm pretty sure they won't make the playoffs, but
Yeah, I'm just wondering if Adrian Kempe is going to resign there, but we'll see about that. Speaking of Adrian Kempe, I'll be bringing him up a bit later.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So moving on to the Calder Trophy, who just make one pick, like off the top of your head, of who's going to win the Calder Trophy this year.
Oh man. Honestly, I haven't looked at that list too much, but
Well, I'll just tell you mine from the beginning.
it's not going
It's
to be
gonna be.
Demidov. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, that's who I was gonna pick.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna go with Davidov because I know it seems like the most obvious pick, but yeah, no, he only played 2 games last year, but and he played in the playoffs, I believe. But the way he was playing, like, wow, like, he's got that superstar potential in him, I think.
I like Askarov. I think he might,
Askarov, yeah, for
yeah,
San Jose.
for San Jose. But
Yeah,
as far as Demidov goes, yeah, he's going to be good. I don't
yeah.
think he gets more than 40 points.
I think he'll get around like maybe like 50 to 55,
Yeah,
probably over 18 to 20, probably 18 to 22 goals around there. That's where I have him at,
yeah.
and more playmaking. He is playing with a pretty talented group, I think.
He's a very
Um,
shifty. He's a very shifty player.
yeah, I agree.
So there's a lot of those in Montreal already, as far
Yeah.
as their power play goes and stuff like that, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, I mean they're gonna give him all the chances to get there,
Yeah.
and
And
it's a
now
very
the
good.
Slavkovsky, he'll have someone good to play with too. He's a big power forward. I
Yeah,
think this year the Slavkovsky will probably break out too. So we'll see what happens with him.
yeah. I've had
Um,
Slavkovsky on my power or on my fantasy pool
yep.
last 3 years on and off kind of thing, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, eventually that guy's gonna, pop off, I'm sure. And those bigger players take a little bit longer. It's like the Thompsons and whatever,
Yeah.
Chara, the
Tage
really big,
Thompson, Alex
strong guys.
Tuck, all those
Yeah,
people. Yeah.
they all take a
Yeah.
little bit longer to get there, but he's
Hmm.
gonna be a really good player when he's done that when he's ready to go. Everybody else better watch it. He even had a bit of a mean streak last year too. Like he
Oh
was
yeah.
talking about how he has to play this way in order to make it to the NHL or to stay here or whatever, right? Like this is how you play. And so yeah, I think he understands that kind of game. And so
Yeah.
yeah, he's gonna be good. I like him a lot
Yeah.
more than Demidov. I know a lot of Montreal fans
Wow.
really, really like that guy.
No, I'm surprised. You think you like him more than Demidov, but do you think he's gonna be better?
Well, it's hard to
I'm just
tell
being
now,
biased
but
here, so
yeah, I don't see much in Demidov. I've been wrong before, but there's a
Mhm.
lot of like he's very shifty, but yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
but I
see.
mean, it's not like we've seen much of him yet, right? But
No, no,
I guess we'll see this year.
but they were all. I mean, Montreal fans have been comparing him to Michkov this whole time, and like just because of that whole taking.
Mitchko. Oh.
Well, they took the defenseman instead of Michkov the year before, and then now they take Demidov instead, and like
Oh yeah, so they're
yeah,
yeah.
there's a bit
I
of a
can I can see that.
comparison going on there. But also, I think Florida had some kind of inside tip or some kind of inside knowledge on that. But
We'll just move on to Puckin Rumors. I
okay,
hope that name sounds okay. But so like in terms of rumors, I'm gonna start with the Oilers, obviously. With McDavid only signing for what was it, 12.5 mil? Um, like from what I've heard from Tom, like when I was on listening to the podcast Hello Hockey with Tom Gazzola and Sean Bell. Tom Gazzola knows who I am, so if Tommy, you ever see this, just nice to hear from you. But they had David Pagnotta on there from the fourth period, and he said that the Oilers are probably going to be like trying, or at least like circling back to getting like a top line winger or a defenseman. I'm pretty sure he's talking about a forward around the trade deadline. So if that's true, like that'd be pretty spectacular for the Oilers. Apparently, like even McDavid and Drysdale have talked with Stan Bowman about what kind of player to acquire. So after what I heard from Bob Stauffer on Oilers Now, Bob Stauffer knows who I am too. He name called me on Twitter in a negative way, so that was pretty cool. But
good boy, yeah.
yeah, he's been talking about Alex Tuck quite a bit ever since the summer. In the summer, I always thought I was like, why is he talking about Alex Tuck? Like, there's no point in talking about him. We're not going to get him, or the Oilers aren't going to get him. But now he's been talking about him a bit more. Alex Tuck says he wants to resign in Buffalo, but he's also, I think he doesn't have a contract next year. So that's someone I think the Oilers are probably going to target at the deadline. My dream hope is Adrian Kempe, but at the same time, LA is not going to trade in the division, so I'm just
Yeah.
hoping for that.
There's no way
But
that trade happens, but there's
mhm.
also, Tuck was born in Buffalo, like, or around Buffalo. So
Yeah,
he's a New York guy. But yeah, I mean, if the Oilers could get that guy, that'd definitely help them with a lot of things that they're somewhat missing right now with the Kane trade.
yeah,
Uh, yeah,
and he's a pure sniper too, so
yeah,
that would help as well. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was Lane Hudson. His contract talks. Apparently, like he was offered a contract for 8 years, according to ESPN. Emily Kaplan for 8 years, and the amount salary was below what Dobson is making. But I guess Montreal never made that offer. So Hudson was willing to take that, but Montreal never made the offer to him. And now with the Luke Hughes signing and Jackson Lacombe signing, it seems like Lane Hudson's probably going to go for a lot more. So I think Montreal really should not have been patient there. They should have just given him that contract, and I'm pretty sure Lane would have said yes to it. But I guess we'll see what happens in the time to come.
yeah.
So
That has a lot of red flags on my end with Lane Hudson, just because you just signed a guy for 9.5 times 8. Let's see
mhm.
how that rolls out first. Who's going to be their power play guy? If they're going to have both of them on there and they're both producing, then that's a different thing. But the Pittsburgh situation with Carlson and Letang never really worked out to have two puck movers in the back end.
Yeah,
So, it's a tough situation on that end, but you never know which role these guys are going to be filling. And Lane Hudson is super young.
yeah,
He'll be just fine as far as money goes in his career. So, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Maybe he'll take a discount, although I doubt it.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. Last player I wanted to talk about was Jack Roslovic. What the heck is going to happen with this guy? I mean, Oilers made an offer
Start
to him in the summer.
better sign him into the KHL or something because he's
Yeah,
doing nothing
because
right
I
now.
remember Oilers made an offer to him in the summer. Apparently, it wasn't enough money for him, so he never took it. But now I think he fired his agent as well, and now I think he's regretting what he did. I know Vancouver tried for him as well, but they couldn't make a contract work for him. So now, like, take a guess on where he's going to sign. I'm going to take a guess too.
Uh, I don't know.
Pick a
I
team.
would maybe Colorado. I'm not sure if I'm.
Colorado, yeah, maybe Colorado actually. I'm going to say he'll sign in Edmonton. He'll like maybe he'll get an opportunity here. I don't know, or
Yeah,
maybe he'll be like, yeah, I'll just join a team that hopefully this year can start winning in at the start of the year, and we'll see what happens then. Because the Oilers do have cap space now, but I think they might be saving
they
that
have
for
about
something bigger.
800K or something. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, or like 1 million. I think he was looking for like around 2 to 3 million or something like that. But
I
I
think
guess we'll see what happens.
that ship has sailed. That's
Yeah.
definitely no. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
In terms of rumors, I think I guess we'll see what happens with Lane Hudson and Jack Roslovic, and maybe the Oilers go all in this year. But like we'll see, I guess. Anyway, so I mean, for our first podcast, I hope that was not too bad. But
Oh yeah,
since
we'll get that all figured out. But yeah, I appreciate the time, everyone, for joining us,
yeah.
and yeah, we'll see you guys next time.